In this video, we're going to compare the Audio-Technica AT2020 condenser microphone against the Shure SM7B dynamic microphone. Both of these microphones are extremely popular for podcasting, streaming, and vocal recording, so that's exactly how we're going to compare them in this video. To start this video, let's quickly show you how we have everything connected and set up. Both of these microphones are connected to a Rode PSA 1 Plus boom arm. Both of them have XLR cables coming out of them, and they run into the Rodecaster Duo. The Audio-Technica AT2020 is on the default condenser microphone setting, which basically just turns on phantom power. There's 36 dB of gain, and there's no processing, EQ, compression, or anything like that set up. For the Shure SM7B, it's exactly the same thing. It goes into the Rodecaster Duo using an XLR cable. We're using the dynamic microphone setting. We're not using the specific Shure SM7B preset. There's 59 dB of gain, and there's no processing turned on this microphone. No EQ, no compression, or anything like that. To get the most out of this video, we do recommend using some kind of high quality headphones in order to hear the nuances between both of these microphones. Now, the price of both of these microphones does go up and down over time, and depending on the time of year, and depending on the region that you live in. If you want to find the best price possible, we have links down in the description below for everything that you see in this video from a variety of online retailers to make sure that you can find the best price possible. Next, in terms of first impressions and looks, both of these microphones look great on camera. The Audio-Technica AT2020 is a little bit smaller with the all-black metal design, and the Shure SM7B certainly looks a lot more impressive. It really does look like it belongs on a podcast, a radio show, a broadcast studio, or a live stream. In terms of build quality, the AT2020 is built out of an all-metal design here. The grill is quite robust and will take a beating. The body itself is a heavy gauge metal. The microphone mount system on the back screws into the bottom of this microphone, and it does mount to a variety of stands. You get a thread adapter with it, so whether you're using a 3/8 boom arm or a 5/8 microphone stand, everything that you need comes with the Audio-Technica AT2020. On the back of this microphone, there's an XLR output that goes straight into an XLR cable, and then you can run it down your microphone boom arm or whatever you need to do with it. For the Shure SM7B, as I said before, it definitely looks the part of a broadcast studio microphone. It has an all-metal body here. Underneath the foam windscreen, there is a metal cage as well to protect the capsule inside and to give more space between whatever you're recording, the subject, and the microphone capsule for best results. In terms of mounting, it does have a yoke-based microphone mount. You can take this off and invert it if you want. If you want to hang your microphone upside down, sideways, or whatever you're trying to do, you can easily do that with this microphone. As we work our way closer to the boom arm, there is a discreet looking XLR connector. Really easy to connect an XLR cable to this microphone, and then there's an adapter where you can connect to your microphone stand. It does come with a 3/8 to 5/8 microphone adapter. They're pretty universal, and it can easily connect to your microphone boom arm or microphone stand. Next, let's take a look at the specs of these so we better know how to compare them. The Audio-Technica AT2020 is an XLR condenser microphone. It has a cardioid polar pattern. It's a side address microphone. It has a frequency response of 20 Hz to 20 kHz. It has a sensitivity of -37 dB. It has a max SPL of 144 dB, and it weighs 345 grams or about 0.75 pounds. For the Shure SM7B, it's an XLR dynamic microphone with a cardioid polar pattern. It is an end address microphone. It has a frequency response of 50 Hz to 20 kHz. It has a sensitivity of -59 dB. It has a max SPL of 180 dB. It has a weight of 764 grams or 1.69 pounds. Now, in terms of frequency response, this is a really good idea to take a look at these so we have a better idea of what we're looking at with these microphones as well. You can see that the Audio-Technica AT2020 has a fairly flat profile here. It's not ruler flat by any means. In the low frequency area, we do kind of stay below that 0 dB line here. It goes up and down, but basically you end up with the full frequency response around 200 Hz. So below that, you are losing a little bit of information. From there, it's fairly flat all the way to about 5 kHz. And from there, we do get an upper frequency bump before it falls off at about 15K. When we take a look at the Shure SM7B's frequency response here, we're mostly concerned with this main solid dark line here. This is the default sound profile for the Shure SM7B. As you can see here, there's about a slight high pass filter that you can see rolls up from 50 Hz to 100 Hz. From there is a low mid cut as well, and it really comes to 0 dB by the time it gets to about 1K or 1000 Hz. From there, it's very flat all the way to 4K. From there, we do get a boost in the upper frequencies, give it a little bit more clarity to the microphone. Then there's a cut in some of the upper frequencies before it comes back to about 12K and falls off from there. Now for these other lines that we see on this frequency response chart, this is if you engage the low cut switch. You can see that it gives you a high pass filter from about 350 Hz all the way down to 50 Hz. So it's a really aggressive low frequency cut. And alternatively here with this tighter dashed line, this is if we engage the mid boost button on the back of the Shure SM7B. You can see it's a lot more aggressive in these mid frequencies and especially up in the upper mid frequencies before coming back to where we were in these higher frequencies at the end. Now on the Audio-Technica AT2020, there are no switches or buttons on this microphone itself. You get one microphone mode. This is actually the way that I prefer to record. On the back of the Shure SM7B, there are those two switches that we just went over before. I have another video up here I'm going to link in the corner where you can find more detail about those switches. For the purposes of this comparison and my personal preference, I'm just going to leave both microphones flat with no switches. They're completely neutral. I think that's the best way to compare these microphones. Next, let's take a look at how these microphones function with a worst case scenario plosive test. Peter put peanut butter on his pineapple pizza. 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 This is what the Audio-Technica AT2020 sounds like if you have a keyboard and mouse in the background. This is what the Shure SM7B sounds like if you have a keyboard and mouse in the background. This is what the Audio-Technica AT2020 sounds like if you do have rustling paper in the background of your podcast or live stream. This is what the Shure SM7B sounds like if you have rustling paper in the back of your podcast or live stream. This is what the Audio-Technica AT2020 sounds like if you need to move this microphone throughout your recording. This is what the Shure SM7B sounds like if you need to move this microphone throughout your recording. This is what the Audio-Technica AT2020 sounds like if you tap it during your recording. This is what the Shure SM7B sounds like if you tap it in your recording. This is what the Audio-Technica AT2020 sounds like if you turn on processing on the Rodecaster Duo. This will give it some EQ, compression, and other settings to give you a sense of what this microphone can sound like with audio processing. This is what the Shure SM7B sounds like with processing turned on the Rodecaster Duo. Again, this is not the Shure SM7B preset. This is just a default dynamic microphone preset to give you some EQ, compression, and other goodies to get you a feel for what this microphone can sound like. All right, I have processing turned off for both microphones now, so now it's time for the blind test. No, it's not the computers. The computers were fine, and the answer to the ultimate question of life, the universe, and everything is indeed 42. The problem is that nobody knew what the question was. No, it's not the computers. The computers were fine, and the answer to the ultimate question of life, the universe, and everything is indeed 42. The problem is that nobody knew what the question was. All right, I just got finished editing everything so I could hear what you heard before I give my overall opinions on this. For the first half of the video, this was actually really fun. You could almost be convinced that your money is better off spent getting 4 Audio-Technica AT2020s compared to 1 Shure SM7B. That's really how the price difference breaks down. But as we got into the testing, it became more and more apparent, as to where that extra $300 went in the Shure SM7B when it comes to a professional broadcast style microphone. First, let's go through some of my red flags that I cover in every video. First of all, plosives. The Audio-Technica AT2020 was way worse than the Shure SM7B. If you plan on looking directly into this microphone making P or B sounds, you can get a third-party windscreen. I generally recommend that for the Audio-Technica AT2020. For the Shure SM7B, that's not really the case. You can get by with this windscreen, and if it is a problem, they actually give you another bigger windscreen that you can use as well. But looking directly into this microphone, it was pretty hard to make it plosive sound in it. Next, we have handling noise. Again, this wasn't really bad for either microphone, but the AT2020 was worse than the Shure SM7B. You could hear that moving and my handling of the microphone more than on the Shure SM7B. Again, this was not a deal breaker. This isn't a red flag. I'd say it's not a secret you're holding the microphone. It doesn't have to be perfect, but the AT2020 was worse. But on background noise rejection, this is another big category here. Just even in the first half of the video before we got into the testing, you could tell that the Audio-Technica AT2020 was a lot more roomy than the Shure SM7B. It's a condenser microphone. It has a much more lightweight capsule inside that condenser microphone, which allows it to pick up all that nuanced sound that maybe you don't want in your podcast, live stream, or vocal recording. When I'm speaking normally, you can hear all this extra room sound compared to the Shure SM7B, but when we did the keyboard and the paper test, that was a night and day difference. You could hear a lot more of that everyday kind of desktop clutter type of stuff. Keyboard clicks, mouse clicks, and paper shuffling came through the AT2020 a lot more than the Shure SM7B. For that test, the Shure SM7B did its job. It rejects the room noise. I'm not in a perfect studio here, but you don't hear the room reverberation as much as with the AT2020, or I should say you don't hear it at all with the Shure SM7B. And the keyboard clicks and the paper shuffling was way reduced compared to the Audio-Technica AT2020. Then we get into more of the subtle differences between these microphones from an audio perspective. The AT2020 does sound really good, especially for its price, but the Shure SM7B does have that more full frequency sound. Some people can say, and I sometimes say it too, it has a tendency to sometimes sound muffled, but when you have your headphones on and cranked up, you really hear the depth of the tone that this microphone is recording. This is why everybody loves it. When you crank up your headphones with the Shure SM7B, you hear the warmth and the breadth of what it's doing to capture that audio recording. That's why it's more expensive. So what am I trying to say here? What's my final recommendation with this? If you're just getting started and you're on a budget, the AT2020 is great value. It's a really well-built microphone that will last a really long time. It works in a lot of different applications, and you can get your value out of it. That being said, I think when you listen to the Shure SM7B and you're trying to figure out where that extra $300 went in terms of an entry-level microphone and a professional-grade microphone, it's pretty obvious to where that money went. You have way better internal shock mounting, so you don't hear handling noise. You have way better noise rejection. You don't hear room tone or shuffling or keyboards nearly as bad. So for my overall recommendation here, I would say if you have the money, it's obvious all the features that are in the Shure SM7B that give it a ton of value. That being said, if you don't have the money, you don't have the money, and the AT2020 is a really good option at the price point that it is. If you have any more questions about either one of these microphones, or if you want to see other comparisons of either one of these microphones, please leave a comment down in the comment section below. Again, if you are looking for pricing for anything that you see in this video, we have links down in the description below. And if you want to see more videos like this in the future, please like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.